Hello, amigo. Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is episode 834.2, I believe. How y'all doing this evening? Pause that up, get this chat pop out. Man, I gotta fix this audio someday. Right. Top chat to live chat, please. What's up, martial artist? Hey, Nova. What the heck are you guys smoking on? Better late than never, I guess, right? I have no idea what the fuck this is. We got Johnny Cannaseed Couch Flyer. What's up? Cheers and welcome. Colorado. Oh, that ain't right. That's not all right. Colorado. Cheers, Miss Angel J5420. Always good smoke. You got a good, nice Piney there. Brett Anderson, cheers to you. Man, this is terrible version. Doctor, leave me alone. What a great name, by the way. Roll me up a little bit of Grease Monkey. I get the zoom, and I know I'm live. Good tune right here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go here real quick and get some shit done. I'm thinking about it. My YouTube studio pop up. You can see those plants. What's up? They look good back there. They are doing good back there, I should say. Georgia Grow Guy, what's up? So there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Here. Which one did I not say that the other day? No. Excuse me, lad. Take care of a few things here. What's up, Operation Annihilation? I thought I did. What's going on, please? What's up with that? Let's go. I got a couple things to do while I got this thing brought up now. I think about it. The silent one. What's up? When me and you gonna talk? Says I'm live right now. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just I'm constantly on the coast. It's like I'm being held in Michigan. Shit keeps breaking, so I can't leave. Wow, I can relate there. Where you at, Michigan? The silent one. Where you at? That's the one I think I moved for. Yes. This is the one. Copy. Go here, edit this. So you can move from Michigan to Ohio. Why do you want to go to Ohio for? Fun. Cheers to the Ohio folks, but come on, man. In Ohio. Outskirts, huh? South of Detroit. I guess Ohio could be better than Detroit. You guys got your outdoor picked out for this year? Good that time. Good that time. You should have your seeds picked. I would think. What? What's better? What? Talk to me. What's the difference? What is the difference beside that? I gotta know. I'm curious. Cream cheese cookies teeth on this grease monkey. I believe that's what this is. Maybe a couple of autos. And lots of people seem to be having pretty good luck with the autos outside. Easy. So I only see autos so far going outside. Makes me feel good to see the light behind me, bro. Girl's moving along quickly back there. 2-1 in flower yesterday. 2-1 in flower yesterday. Actually, I thought that little 30 by 30 10, man. I thought about throwing 2 in there. I'm like, oh, that's a 1-spotter right there. Can't cram them in there, man. Them girls don't like to touch each other like that. Same pot, maybe a 10-gallon, 2 girls, same strain in 1 pot, maybe. Riley's Rascal, that skeleton. Nice. Mr. Martial Artist, I hope you're doing well. Where in the fuck did I put my papers? I know I brought them in here. Yeah, they are. So I can have a dog, no instructions. Well, it's a tough job, man. Noise. It's nowhere, man. What's up? Family friends popping in. What's up?
What up? Had me a good day today. I just picked up another car. Man? Grab me a new car.
Maybe not.
Can you hear me?
Was a good help. What's up, man?
What's going on?
How you doing tonight?
Good.
Do I got you turned down or what?
I don't know. Oh,
You
I
there?
just now I just fucked me up.
Oh
There I
yeah, I
am.
bet you are turned off. Hold on.
Can you hear me now? Mic check
I
one,
bet
two.
that monitor's turned off. There,
Yeah.
there you are. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much.
Yeah, I was saying I picked up a new car today.
Nice.
So that's good.
What'd you
But
get?
well, I'm still poor, so I had to go for the Hyundai, but I went for a Hyundai Tucson, all-wheel drive SUV. And there's nothing wrong with my Jeep, but I think I'm gonna eventually just give it to the my daughter.
Right now.
Smoking some fresh Cindy. New shit. Been busy. Those empty fucking pots. Harvesting again.
Hell yeah, them 3 gallons. Them look like 3 gallons.
Oh no, there's sevens. Yep, I finish off in sevens.
Nice.
So I actually just put this we put this back row in, what was it, like a week ago? And then I put this row in like just a few days ago.
They look good.
These, these things are nice and big though. They're already the same size as everything else, and they didn't even stretch yet.
Right on. They look good. What strains we looking at?
Um, Mostly Tri-Fi Sunday. This one's Purple Turban. Um, there's a fucking this one over here is Two Suits. This one's Darkwood from North Star.
You be here tomorrow.
I seen that. Shout out to Joel, Jenny. Yeah, I'm gonna be running just about a room full of a bunch of cycles of just clones. Got a couple new things in the mix.
Right on.
I haven't taken a clone from anyone in like uh maybe like 8 years. And when I did, I put it outside. But I took a cut and a rooted clone from someone, and I was fucking deathly afraid to do this. I don't know why I did it, but uh I isolated it, sprayed it, kept it aside for a week, and when I took out my microscope and I searched on that fucking plant on that on a leaf, I kind of kept it on the screen so you can see that. Well, I was like smoking a joint. I was because my microscope connects to the cell phone. So I was just looking at my cell phone picture to see if I can see anything run by or walk by or anything. That shit was clean. So I felt confident enough to like put it in the room with the plants, but just put it off to the side.
Right on.
I got Tokyo OG and chocolate truffles.
Sounds good. The chocolate truffle sounds good.
The dude that I got it from claims it's like burnt brownies, and the other person that smoked it said it's like kind of like one of the Swiss cake roll type flavor. So we'll see if there's really the chocolate in there, and if there is, I'm gonna have to get this to Tao.
Yeah, he's been looking for that chocolate for quite some time. That's awesome. My cuts I took in were from Mr. Smiley were that Ghost OG and peanut butter broth there. But before that, well, I guess before that was the last cuts I took in were from Smiley as well, and that was his Jack Skellington inside of that cross there. But before that, it'd been a long, long time before I'd taken any cuts from anybody. Just never really. I just don't have
Scary,
the.
right?
It's scary. I just don't have the love for the plants.
When are you gonna flip that shit behind you to flower?
I flipped a couple of them yesterday. One of them yesterday, anyway. These
I
girls are more than ready.
You're flowering in a separate spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that way there's no like light leaks or anything.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. You must be excited.
Oh yeah, I'm tired paying for weed.
Yeah.
That fucking shit sucks.
I know it's like as much as I enjoy doing all this, it really is a big fucking pain in the ass. I feel like I just have constant stuff to do. But you know what? This is keeping me busy because I'm home disabled all day, and it's keeping me from taking like depression pills from being a broke fuck with a hurt back and no money. You know what I mean? People are all at work and shit, and I'm just home by myself and the dog. But
Yep.
we changed the clocks forward this weekend, so that's a sign of fucking hope to go play outside soon.
It's been pretty nice here in Michigan. I mean, I'm as far as I've been playing outside a little bit, not a whole lot, but definitely getting to be that time. All the old folks up here bitching about it still being winter. I'm like, this is a blessing.
I said it in the chat last show, but it was just like I don't know, it was like 5, 6 days ago or some shit. I was down here. I was talking to my brother in Blind Cat, and I heard a bang, and I was like, "What?" And the dog started barking. So I was like, "What the fuck?" My daughter just got home. So I go upstairs, and I looked outside. There's nothing. My son was like, "I think it came from outside." And I looked out the front window, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Uh, a fucking lady. She she crashed right into the tree into my cluster of trees in my yard, and I just put up a brand new mailbox like 3 days before that, and she went right through it and went just. She was on the right side of the road, and my house is on the left, so she like crossed the lanes. She's lucky she didn't die or kill anyone or my daughter. You know what I mean? And so when I came around the corner, she was already out of the car, and she was all covered in blood, like her head was leaking. It was bad. And I was like, oh shit. I mean, so I ran in and grabbed her a towel so she could put it around her head. And it was like rainy and windy out, cold. And my kids went and called 911 and grabbed like blankets and shit. And the first thing out of her mouth was that she wasn't driving, that someone else was driving and they took off. And and she said that a bunch of times, and that's a fuck telltale sign that this lady's bullshitting to me. And so she started like kind of like bugging out or whatever. I told her to sit down, and then the cops and the ambulance and everyone came, and the cops kept pointing at my fucking cameras on my house. You know what I mean? Because they want to see the footage because they think now that there's potentially someone else that was involved that could be injured that took off. And I didn't want to get involved. I don't want the cops to fucking know nothing about me. But they're all in front of my house, you know what I mean, and shit. And then I don't even know how to operate my cameras. I haven't done them in so long. It's been like 5 years since I rewound them for a reason. But I ended up finding I rewound it and found the crash, and I was watching, and the lady was definitely the only one. She got out of the car, and she was the only one driving. And I was thinking, like, I don't like being no rat or none of that shit. But you know what? Fuck this bitch. She could have, if it was literally 15 seconds before, she could have killed my daughter and her boyfriend. You know what I mean? If my trees weren't there, because I cut all the trees down in my yard except for this little clump by the street that wasn't there, they would have went right. Lady would have went right through my neighbor's house. Wish she could have killed someone else going head on. So I just fucking took that lady out. I gave the cops the footage. You know what I mean? There's a fucking difference. You get behind the wheel shit faced, then that's what happens. You gotta get behind the wheel with maybe a couple of hits in you.
A lot of
You
law enforcement
stay focused. You know what I mean? Drive like better, in my opinion.
a lot of these law enforcements these days are giving out those ring doorbell cameras. And in instances like this, they just have access to the footage. They
Oh,
basically,
that's fucked up. Because then they got access to not just crash sites, but everything. go into your house.
They've got basically a deal with the ring to access all that footage. Most police they're the ones supplying most police agencies with cameras to give out to their local.
Yeah, when I first bought this house, that was the first thing I bought was a 4 pack of cameras with a DVR box that records for over a year before it like loops over. Because for anyone who ever lived in the hood at some point in their life, uh, and then they buy a house, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to. You already know what could be happening out there, so
Yeah, fucking. I still have a lot of cameras. I prefer those Wise cameras myself. The little get them. Well, the third generations are pretty nice these days. I think they're more like $29. The ones I got were all like $20 a piece. Wi-Fi, access them from your phone and shit.
hell yeah. I got a camera for in my house too, so I can make sure the kids ain't fucking around or anything. The dog and can like talk into it. I think that's actually labeled as like a fuck pet camera.
Nice. I'm leery of cameras in the house, even though I think they're buried in shit that you don't even think they're buried in TVs and shit. But yeah, fucking I've heard my fucking cameras click and make noise, audible noises. I'm like, no, I'm unplugging that. And usually like in the last girl, all the cameras were pointed at the tents, the doors, and shit like that. But where I sat and like did the show and shit like that, fucking them cameras didn't hit where I sat. No,
13 high, baby.
that sounds right to me.
You know, see those fucking trays, Eagle, those things are brown and they're clean. They're just used and abused.
I used to wipe
Tell
my alcohol rag.
I told Scott like these things aren't for fucking display. These things get used. Those things that original machine I got still works just like the first one. I mean the last one I got. That machine, the motors are built to last. They're built to run over and over again too.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice machine. Uh, I believe he's working on a thing for the smell.
Yep, I seen that. It's like a little disc you put on top.
Right on.
He's already got it ready and available. I'm pretty sure.
I had suggested that to him. That was one of my first critiques when I got my first model. I'm like, it needs for something to darken up the sides to make it dark in there. And but I was suggesting like just like a sock, like carbon filter sock to put over it was my suggestion. But
You know what I like about that thing is I would need a whole fucking room to dry all my shit that I don't have that room. Uh, Compared to just putting it on a tabletop. It's a huge space saver right there.
for sure, for sure, I think that's my code on my card. To be honest with you, that buzz up right here. Yeah, definitely grows on me. I definitely like the space saving option.
Hell yeah. And like on the little smaller buds, or say you like cut a little branch off, you want to sample the shit ahead of time, you can kind of smoke those smaller buds in like fucking 2 days out of the machine. You know what I mean? And it doesn't taste like shit compared to putting it on your dashboard of your car or something like that. Fast dry.
Yeah, sometimes I fucking just gotta taste it, man. Quick little sample. Doesn't look like you pack yours as well as I used to
That
pack.
that top one's loose. All the others are tight. That top one was just whatever I had left on a plant I just harvested. I actually took the bottom half that was kind of airy and I throw it in my fire pit. People might be like, "What the fuck is a waste?" And it is, but I'm gonna end up getting one of those Levo machines. It's kind of like a magic butter. It does everything all in it. It's even decarbs in it. And then I'll eventually save my scraps.
Hopefully, I'll be making me some fucking hash.
I don't know if you can see it good, but look at all that nice furry whiteness in there.
Nice.
Fresh batch of delicious mycelium-rich soil. Hell yeah.
You just dump those in there, kind of just. I used to like dump those in them totes and had one of them like 3-clawed like hand rakes and just like.
Oh yeah, I'll rip the fuck out of it with my hand.
And shake it out. Man, that was good.
Yep. I rip it apart with my hand, shake it out. I add that's a 70-gallon tote, so I'll add a 30-pound bag of worm castings, and then this thing that's it's organic plant food from Costa Maine. It's 4 pounds, and then it's good to go. So between the worm castings and the worm castings is like 30, and that plant food's 20. That's $50. That's like pretty much the little over the price of one bag of soil. So you can fit. I think you can fit probably about 8 root balls in there, at least 7. And the bags are almost $40 a piece. So we're talking $300 worth of soil about for the cost of $50.
Nice. What kind of soil do you use, or would you use?
Um, I'm gonna be using the Costa Maine Stonington blend. I haven't used it yet. I still have a little bit of big roots left, and like I have like 2.5 bags left, maybe 3. But Costa Maine at my grow store down the street, they're having a big soil sale and sometime this month. So I kind of been waiting. I don't really need the soil right away, but I'm gonna need it eventually. So might as well just buy it when it's on sale and save some money, right?
Yeah, some of them prehistoric soils can be quite expensive, that's for sure.
Yeah. And if you start with a good soil and you just re-amend it with good shit, like I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? I just want to buy something. Actually, I'll read to you what's in this shit. This is the ingredients: fish meal, earthworm castings, which sounds stupid because I add my own, alfalfa meal, feather meal, crab and lobster meal, potassium sulfate, kelp meal, and magnesium sulfate. So it's got pretty much everything I need in the fucking thing, all in one. Just add water, nice and easy. And that's not a dust either. They kind of pelletize that shit, so it's not dust flying around on your trichomes, or you don't need a dust mask, which is kind of cool too. Where the Mr. B's green trees is a kind of a dust, and you need to use that.
Some of that stuff I just question how quickly it actually breaks down, I guess.
Well, I've been using fresh soil for years, so doing this re-amending, I only have these 2 totes worth to re-amend, and the plants move through pretty quick. So uh, I've re-amended this tote's worth of soil a good 7 or 8 times at least, and the plants are all nice and green and uh, do their thing. So it seems like it's doing good. The plants would tell me in the leaves if they wanted something. So, right?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I know people are getting their vegetable garden, certain vegetables is getting started now too. You do vegetables, you?
Not yet. I can be back, hopefully back to that again soon too. Fucking, I miss that shit.
I gotta send you some DOA cucumber project that I did. Seeds.
Nice. Yeah, I used to fucking love. I've always grown, or been around gardens. Fucking, I grew up out in the country and shit. My dad used to fucking have fucking half the garden or half the fucking yard and shit was fucking all fucking garden and shit. Make us kids go out there and fucking weed and shit while he'd be mowing the lawn and shit.
With
Big
the
fucking zucchinis.
fucking fresh Miranda Fraley Farms tea, son. Crispy.
Always. Yeah, I miss fucking being able to wander outside and fuck just having some cherry tomatoes and all that good shit. I
Hell
miss it.
yeah.
Right. Shit like that, that and green beans always were like lucky to get shit into the house, man, because fresh green beans are fucking awesome too.
And I
Snap.
started off with like a couple strawberry plants and they quickly spread to a patch. And then when they grow out of my garden, I'll just like mow them over with the lawnmower. But once in a while, I'll pick one out and pot it and just give it to someone. And then and then like after a few months, you can see all the little jumpers and new plants going. And the next year, they have their own little patch.
Yeah, tomato or strawberry spread like wildfire. That's one of the nice things about them too. Mound,
Yeah, I got a nice strawberry patch, a nice blueberry patch too.
blueberries are fucking amazing for you. Superfood. Blueberries are a superfood.
Yeah, this year I don't think I'm going to be selling vegetable plants because that was just a lot more extra work that I don't have time to do.
Yeah. Is it more difficult to harvest the seeds from the vegetables versus, you know, cannabis?
Um, yeah, that's probably just equally as much of a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? I actually had to go Google how to harvest certain. That's the sweet thing about Google. Everyone can be fucking have some sort of knowledge at their fingertips, but how to harvest seeds, certain seeds out of like different vegetables to not fuck it up. Remember Subcool? That little clip that he had. Someone put it up recently. He's like, I am not fucking Google. Don't ask me stupid fucking questions.
Yeah, it did fucking, I get it, man. After, fucking, you know, being on doing this for so long, I kind of get it. And,
I'll never forget.
so many fucking times before you're like, look it up. Just look it up.
He was on the Instagram live and someone said in the chat, "Hey Subcool, do you use super soil?" And he fucking lost it. He lost it on the person. No, I grow in fucking monkey dicks and just wigged the fuck out on that. Like, the person was probably like new to the scene and like found Subcool and was like, what a dick.
Yeah, he could have been a little rough around the edges, but he was always kind of quick to come back,
Yeah.
calm. Yeah. Sorry, man. I just answered that question 10,000 times. I wrote the article. Just research it. Some cool. Super soul. Find me an article. It's 10,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of,
snap
I did
back.
a I did a giveaway on your show like 2 months ago, and I actually found the guys that won's thing. I think his name is like KNC in the chat or something. So if he's looking. The package is coming. I think it's supposed to be there Monday. Rick Cole, yours should have been here today.
He is a regular as well. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get some plants fucking flowering. Right now, them plants are good size, man. If I flip them, I'm expected now. Like they should be 4 to 5 years.
I mean, what you gonna do with all that bud after you harvest it?
Fucking smoke it, Jesus Christ, man. You even have a clue how much weed I smoke? I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. I have been a 1 ounce a week guy, minimal meat for 20 plus years. Easy. That's why I started growing fucking weed. I couldn't afford it no more. Meat, fucking plus the others, a couple ounces a week, too much. Can't raise a family smoking 2 ounces a week. I grow that shit, takes some rest. Shit looks like my boy. I had some plants rolling. Hell yeah. Cheers, JDs.
I had a breakthrough situation happen over here today. This is to me amazing. But I bought this house about 7 years ago. When we first bought it, my buddy's girl came over and in my kitchen talked all kinds of shit about weed to her kids and mine about how bad it is. You know what I mean? Like straight fucking egg frying bullshit. And fast forward to today, I picked her up a 1-to-1 CBD vape cart because she doesn't want to smoke the flower or anything. Because she tried CBD and didn't feel anything. And I told her, like, well, you're gonna need this 1-to-1. So I grabbed one for her. And she came and grabbed it today. And I told her, don't go take a big rip off of it and then cough your fucking brains out. And then you're gonna feel like you're too high and be like, it doesn't work, it's too strong. Like take a little baby hit. You know what I mean? And she's been going through a lot of stress. They almost just lost their house. They got it back though and shit. But I can just picture in my head this one little fucking step right here is gonna make their whole relationship and that whole house be better. You know what I mean? It's the magic of weed.
It is a very magical plant, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that pharmaceutical shit can spiral out of control so quickly. That's for sure. Them doctors are very quick to unleash them antidepressants, all kinds of bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, when I first became disabled, I was bumming out because I was used to working every day and I became depressed. Like this sucks. I was like hurt and home by myself. It felt like a jail cell. So they started giving me depression pills, pain pills, all these different pills. And there was a time where I was like, fuck this shit. Most of my pills was getting stolen from like um the wife's family members and shit. It was just turned into too much.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
So
And
one day I was like, yeah, fuck this. Just all weed only. And at the beginning, it's like I didn't want to tell the doctors that I smoke weed, so you just kind of keep that on the DL. But now when I go to the doctor's list of prescriptions, uh, the only thing I write down is cannabis. That's my fucking medicine.
yeah, I don't bullshit the doctors anymore either about weed. Half the time I walk in with like a weed nerd world fucking coat or shirt on or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
And quick
So
to
I walk around something stinking of weed still too, fresh hidden.
yeah.
Actually, when my son at work, he got injured. He got his hand was like really bad cut. This thing was leaking bad. So and I had to bring him to the emergency room. And the doctor walked. I think I said this story. I walked into the room and we was waiting for the doctor. The doctor came in and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he was pissed at the odor coming off of me. He acted like he could get high off of the smell in the air of it. Hating on that shit.
That's sad. So
But
sad.
I wear it like a proud cologne. You don't like it, don't breathe.
You know when I'm most proud? I kind of seen it the other day with a friend, but I've seen this multiple times with other people. I'm most proud of like cannabis as a medicine when you've taught somebody like your friend there with cannabis, to use cannabis instead of a pharmaceutical, whatever. And then they see the healing power, or it's either them or a family member that cannabis has helped, and then you turn around and then you see them in your footsteps referring,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Hmm.
stopping somebody and going, you need to try cannabis. You know what I mean? Having that conversation, that's one of the more gratifying, moments, and passing cannabis on as a medicine, 100%.
Getting them to smoke it and treat it like a medicine is cool. Getting someone to grow it and actually stay growing it is, in my opinion, even cooler because there's a real small percentage, as we all know, there's a real small percentage of growers compared to smokers.
Sadly, yes, I know. That's fucking sad. And actually, we got one of the people that grow store owner here in Michigan puts on the cloud cultivation event that we all talk about quite a bit. As said he'd come on talk and stuff, and we were talking earlier, me and Angel, about kind of the growth store kind of thing, and just being able to survive, because not a lot of people are actually taking the time to grow their own weed anymore, and how tough it is for these guys to actually stay afloat, and how underappreciated they really are, basically, for keeping them doors open for the few that still actually need that shit. You know what I mean? It's quite the struggle when fucking recreational fucking definitely took out a lot of the fucking local grocery stores and shit like that, man. Sucks. We need to get more people try to get growing. I think as things level off, I think more and more people will try to, take up growing again. But I just don't know why they don't start there. You know what I mean?
I seen some guy on a live the other day. He works at a dispensary. I don't know what state he was in. They were like $35 ounces. And it's probably bottom shelf bullshit, but the average person ain't going in there. And the average person's going in there looking for the best bang for their buck. And I don't even think you can produce $35 ounce. You know what I mean? No one wants to fucking start growing when they can just buy it for cheap like that. That's the suck part.
But have you, I mean, as somebody that's been on the other side of that shit, you know what I mean, lately, and I don't like to, admit it, but man, fucking, I've had to stop in and get some of these fucking cheap fucking quarters and ounces and shit like that just to fucking keep my habit. And I'm here to tell you, man, that shit has no life. And it's, it doesn't, man. It's just like a fucking facade, you know what I mean? It looks the part, it acts the part, but there ain't no real high there anymore, man. It's just, I think that's 100. Well, you only get that from the growing it at home, that personal interaction. It's like the plant knows what you want. You know what I
Yeah. Yep.
mean?
And when you grow it yourself, if you keep a cut, grow it out the first time, and like harvest it at a whatever certain trichome maturity, and it was either too heavy or too racy or whatever, you can like grow it the next time and pick it earlier or later and like alter it to how you like it. Well, you can't do that at a dispensary. You have to kind of just buy a bunch of different things and find what works good for you. And that means you have to go through a bunch of garbage to get through the to find something that you like.
So, you want to hear something funny? You might think it's funny, may not funny. People in chat may not think it's funny. I picked a new fight. I picked a new fight on accident in the shower the other day. I got out fucking just kind of pissy. Just pissy with PETA.
What is it?
PETA, the animal rights activist group.
Oh.
Seriously though. Seriously. You want to know what my fight is?
What?
Uh, so like I said, PETA's a fucking animal activist group there, and the shampoo that or the shampoo slash body wash, whatever you want to call it, was PETA approved, and but yet it was made from plant by botanicals, mainly shiitake mushroom. And so it was like a live soap basically. So it they so in PETA's eyes, it's okay to kill off the microbes, the funguses, but yeah, we got to protect all the animals. But my problem with this being is, as we've come to learn in these organics lately, that fungus is very much our a live organism, and we're learning to be an and very intelligent organism as well. So uh, it's okay to kill off, one of the things that supports, the main supporting systems of life, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for the funguses and bacteria and whatnot, we wouldn't even be here. We're more fungus and bacteria and microbes than we are DNA and this meat suits there. So, if we start attacking, the microbes and stuff like that, or you know what I mean, that's not less important side. That's to me like it's okay to pick away at the foundation of your house as long as the roof's okay. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a weird, yeah, yeah. Didn't seem right. Just didn't seem right. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. More regenerative media. Cheers to you. Welcome. Yeah. So
Whipped up a nice one. Purple turban from Miss Joe. Headband crossed with purple Afghan Kush. This shit came out like super frosty. It's like purple and white from the amount of frostiness on it.
nice. Nice.
It's
So how
actually a
many?
keeper.
Yeah, how many was it feminized? One of the feminized seeds.
Yeah, she does her feminized as a 6 pack and all six germinated. There was two that were really nice, but this one seemed to just produce a little more. So I kept this one as a keeper. Find a find a keeper out of every pack. Well, not every time, but you know what I mean. You can.
I always kind of look at the femmes just like I do like a good seed, to be honest with you. It should be, you know, a clone damn near of the mother. You know what I mean? Because of the way it's been produced. You know what I mean? So it
Hmm.
surprises me the variation you still get. You know what I mean? Through the simple feminized processing. When, the point of is that's the one. You know what I mean? That's the one
Yeah,
I want. But then you still get the variance there. You know what I mean? I would expect
Miss
more.
Jill got the cuts from Caleb like CSI, so she got like good phenos to make this. Came out delicious.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have another pheno of I went through a 6 pack. I found a good keeper of jelly bean bubble gum, and that one has one of the best flavors in that I've grown, according to my wife and the neighbor. So I kept that one around too. So obviously it's jelly bean crossed with Indiana bubble gum.
Right on. The missus there is also a grower, right? How much hand does she have in that pretty room that we see there?
What's that?
I said the wife's also a grower too, right? How much
Um,
does
no,
she have in that room?
she has no fucking hand in the room. She'll help me
No.
de-leaf here and there, but she does help me a lot as far as the trimming part of it, like the dry trim.
Any help is still always welcome, right? When it comes to at least trimming.
Yeah,
What's up?
that helps a lot.
What's up, Carlton?
What's going on, Eagle? What's going on, Miranda Family Farms? Not
What's
running.
going on?
Got nothing set up, but you don't want to see my disaster here. Just thought I'd drop in and say, hey, what's up?
You know, you know. Stop.
I like that feminization conversation there. That's where you like to take a strain that you got good and stabilized, man. You can back cross a few times. You can get you can get like 99% stabilized genetics doing that correctly.
That's what you would expect when that's what I have always expected when it comes to feminized seed. You know what I mean? Is that you want that in particular one, not just, a feminized plant every time, but you were looking for that in particular, phenotype, pronunciation, to go forward. So why do you think you get the variance there? Is it just because most people, when they found that plant, they're doing multiple phenos in a room, so it isn't just nailing it down, but more or less just producing more of that in particular seed.
Yeah, they're narrowing the gene pool rather than selecting a very specific genetic set. And remember, still, there's always the environmental pressure there too, which is going to have an effect on how that expresses, and that's going to have an effect on how it tastes, flowers, and acts all the way around. But yeah, like that MOB S3 that I have in my tent right now, that's a cubed back cross strain. That was a clone only strain, and then one of the breeders up north took it and basically stabilized it and then back crossed against the same mother enough times to get that genetics down to basically 99% stability. And I see it in the seeds. Every seed produces pretty much the same pheno and genotypical expression.
Right. I would think that it's going to be key. I mean, moving forward, if you're going to deal, I mean, the type seeds produced nowadays are, I mean, great for the small time grower, me, the average Joe. But I would think that when we're talking more of a commercial level, they're going to want consistency. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to like fucking mix that shit like fucking tobacco and you know what I mean? All the
Yeah,
different when they're putting their name on that pack. It seems to me they'd want that.
No, that's entirely accurate, and we do that in the food supply too. I mean, you look at the tomato variety you see in a commercial greenhouse. You don't see any variety. What you see is they found the most stable genetics they could run good production with and make sales with, and they replicated the crap out of that as close as they could, clone for clone. Whether it's seed for seed, and you like stabilize that seed strain very well, or whether you pop a selection set of that seed and then select from that set, pick the very best of the very best, and then clone only from that. And then you have scion propagation and theoretically have exact genetic replication, right? And then your only shift would be your environmental adjustment. If you can maintain an environment that is stable and a nutrient profile that's stable and a light profile that's stable and all those pieces, then you can basically maintain that genetic ad infinitum theoretically. I don't know if it works in the real world.
I'm not sure that never crossed my mind like what you said, Eagle. Because if I wanted to pollinate, I never pollinated multiple plants of the same strain to make a shitload of seeds. But if I did, it would be a pheno that I found, cloned, and made a bunch of the same cut. So anyone that's just pollinating the same strain, different phenos, dick. That's a dick move. What the hell would you do that for?
Thank you. Thank you.
It happens. It happens.
I mean, it's okay to play around, but to pull off that you're a special breeder and do that is wrong.
Yeah, or at least let people know. If you're buying a pack, you should know what the fuck you're supposed to get. And
Yeah.
It sucks too. Another thing, I don't know how people store their seeds, but the game out there is fucking whack right now. I'm seeing people pop $500 packs, ain't fucking nothing germinating. You know
So
what I mean? And it ain't the germinator, it's the fucking seeds, and it has to be the way they're being stored out there.
what are you guys' thoughts then of
My
just using uh, a, uh, a female as a donor to create new strains? Now, should they be using a male from just a said stud, or do you guys think that offering feminized pollen as a donation to create a new strain, is that a good thing, bad thing, limiting things right from the get?
I personally, I always look at the source. Who's doing the work? If
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna say that.
and authenticity, and they work with knowledge and tools and skills and science and think through and plan through and execute. Like one that's come up to me recently that really caught my attention was Antenna Seeds. And it's a shame what's going on with him with his Arizona licensing and all that kind of stuff. But that dude had his shit together. And I'm sure he'll emerge somewhere else. He'll adapt and evolve. That's a dude who'll pivot, no doubt. But he's a good example of that. Look at what he's replicated and the scale he's able to do that and the uniformity. Go look at his Instagram pics, man. Uniformity. Poof. That's what I'm
He's
talking
been
about.
on, right? Bab Curious K in
Yes,
Tennessee.
yes. I came across him on your channel. I would never heard of him otherwise. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, that does suck. It sucks that it is going to be tougher and tougher for breeders to break into the commercial market, I think, once legalization does sink its teeth in.
I,
Look at Arizona when they took off. The genetics offered in them shops were limited. You had to, those genes had to be, or those genetics had to be in the gene pool basically from the get. You know what I mean? I don't know where they've went from there now, but getting genetics into their database in the beginning was super tough. You pretty much had to have it when you started.
well, but let's talk about genetics for a sec. Can we peel that apart for a sec?
Yeah.
Because like back back in the 90s, they sort of like, okay, we got to map the entire genome, the entire human genome, and then we'll understand what's causing cancer, right? So they went about that process, and that's no small process. Genetically mapping the entire human genome. You have to understand how complex that mathematical equation is, basically, right? And those are all wound helixes of proteins assembled, right? That's basically what this is, but it's a mathematical structure at the same time. So they went and mapped all that, thinking they would be able to figure out all the cures for cancer. And the problem that they found is that epigenetics interferes with that because the environment affects how a gene expresses itself. And that's everything from nutrient to environment to temperature to light to any kind of environmental shift changes how the gene expresses. And it's so intense that Phytophthora is a disease that can attack a field and destroy an entire food crop in no time, right? And yet you can have the same population in one field that's destroying a crop because that crop wasn't treated right, that soil wasn't right. And yet in another field next to it, if that soil was treated right, that Phytophthora is a benefit to that crop. So it's complex, is all I'm saying, right?
It is. What are you smoking on tonight there? You puffing on anything? Anything tonight?
Yeah.
That dark room. Probably very relaxing though, shit.
Yeah. I'm on an edible. I'm on a chocolate edible. It's a mix of Dosi Do, Fire 99, Black Lime Reserve, and what was the other one? I stuck it in. Wrote it down somewhere. I don't even know where I put the pad. I don't know, something else. C99 Blueberry, that's what it was. Yeah. So chocolate edibles made with pure cacao and cocoa butter and man and a little soy lecithin. I don't even like smoking anymore, man. The edibles are just so stable and nice and clear.
I see Mr. Leal in chat there. That fucking light kills me too, brother. Don't feel bad. These lights like this are fucking so tough to get perfect. the way they hang, I don't know if they're, you know what I mean, that sweet spot. They always are really tough to get flat, flat, flat. The best one I've seen so far is like the Mars, where each end rail is a solid piece, and then you kind of like build the light by sliding those in. Best way to alleviate that crookedness there, but that fucking shit drives me nuts too. Cheers, D man. Sorry, I
That's,
didn't mean to cut you off, Carl. Did
go ahead.
yeah.
You weren't done. Go ahead.
No, I would. Yeah, I was done. I was done, man.
In that case, I actually the Metagrow Spectrum X and Y that I have now actually hang nice and flat. I'm very impressed with them. And I've seen that on some of the other lights where you just can't get the damn thing to sit like a flat deck like it's supposed to. The whole point is perpendicular light to the plant you're trying to hit, right? Like,
What lights you running there, sir? That's you got some nice LEDs there. Them the Spider Farmers, I think you said you had in there.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I had I was sponsored by them for years, and then right like I think it was like at the height of the COVID shit because they're out of fucking China. I think out of fucking like Wuhan too or some shit. They I think the lady passed away. I haven't been able to get a hold of her since, or anybody actually. I don't know what the hell happened. But eventually these things are gonna blow out, and I'm gonna have to get new ones, and I might just say fuck Spider Farmer because they left me hanging.
So with that being said, what are you guys' fucking thoughts on the fucking expensive lights versus the cheap fuckers, man? I've always been a advocate for the little guy myself, but that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that
I can't afford the big light, the big expensive one. So that's how I roll.
the spider farmers, the Mars, I've always had, you know, with the little guy, not necessarily Mars, it's necessarily the little guy, but the cheaper lights. I've always had decent luck with a lot of the cheaper lights. Yes, have I had some of the nicer lights and they kick ass, but man, I just for the price, man, I've said that. Well, I'm willing to bet, like, say that panel light right there you got showing the first one for the price that you would pay for like a unit like this, which back then I think that light right there was like $900 or something like that. And my argument was always that you could take a spider farmer light like that, which was right around 600 was 300 379 something like that, usually more closer to the three. You could take three of those panels and stuff them in the same. I could now I could do a 4x8 for the same price with really good quality versus the 4x4 I just spent $1,000 for. I mean, which would you rather like? A 4x8 for that price or a 4x4? So I'm just, you know, that's why I've always kind of went for the cheaper light myself. Is fucking I wanted more growth space, flat out. Fuck the beautiful killer 4x4. I wanted, you know, a bigger space. Is why I've always been more of an advocate for the cheaper light. I don't
I
think
would
we.
I would I would probably recommend people to go for a middle light because if you go too cheap, that thing's gonna like possibly run catching on fire or just sucking completely. You know what I mean?
All right, can't hear you yet, Carlton. We can see it, but we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us, Carlton,
Oh,
but
he's got some fancy shit there though. Look at that. Got a
yeah,
fucking screen on the lights on.
yeah. You can do that with the Mars lights now come with that feature too, though. I mean, it doesn't come on your light, but you can access that on your phone. That's pretty standard. We can't hear you, Carlton. Just want you to know. We can't hear you, brother. we
I bet
want
he's
we
I
want to
bet he's
hear
got
you,
all dropping all kinds of light knowledge. We can't hear shit.
right? Drop your thoughts in chat too about the light thing. What are you guys' thoughts on, a cheaper light, more expensive light? What kind of light in general?
Yeah,
You got?
I'll definitely do your homework, read reviews, and go with the best light that you can afford, is what I would say is the smartest thing. Because the light is the replicating the sun. That's the most important part of the whole fucking shit. So that's where people kind of at the very beginning of getting into growing, they'll chintz out hard on the light and then they'll suffer in the plant looking pitiful yield and look, you know what I mean?
Spot on. And let me add to that because I had the old HID lights for a long time from my old grow gear. And I had no idea how deficient I was in light in my grow tents until I got the LED lights. And now you would be amazed. Like, you want to take care of veg time problems, man? Go to a solid LED light that puts out the power you want. You actually have to run them low so your veg doesn't go too fast before you can take care of anything else. So you don't burn through water too fast. That I've got a super silver haze in that tent that was going through in a 10-gallon pot. It's 4 weeks old from seed. It was going through like 2 gallons of water a day and drying the planter out. I had to bump it up to a 20-gallon pot. It's insane.
She's thirsty.
Yeah. And that's
Have you ever tried the 12-in-1 system there, the Joe Pietri 12-in-1 for veg?
I haven't, but I'm going to be trying that over the summer because I do want to keep a couple in veg, and I can't run that kind of power in here. It just takes too much AC load to make that make sense when I go outside.
Exactly. That's one of the beauty things of being a grower and kind of being like diligent
Yeah,
with whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Keeping the lights on 24-hour, vegging 24 hours in the winter hours or winter months to keep that extra heat in the room and keep from actually having to add extra heat is, like you're saying, a great tip. Adjusting them to like that's one of the reasons why I asked because I was again talking with Angel yesterday about this light, which has added. You would think LED, but it for this room right here, it has raised the temperature in this room. It's perfect now in this room. It was quite chill in here before, but now with that light, man, it adds enough heat into this room to make it very comfortable in here right now. But in the summer months now, when I'm like you're saying, limited on power, and am I going to want to run extra AC to? No, I'm going to want to run the 12-in-1. I'm going to want to run this at night, during the cooler time, and I'm going to want to go switch that light on to the 1 hour during the day. You know what I mean?
that's where that gaslight timer is really handy. Yep.
Huh. Fuck all that shit, trying to keep things cool when you can just kind of work with your surroundings a little bit. That even goes to bit like even mixing up with like Smiley's had to do it, and I'm sure a lot of people have had to do actually just changing the type of light you use sometimes in the winter months to an HID lighting system, just because these aren't adequate for what I mean for or put off enough heat.
Yeah, they're too efficient to produce enough heat in the winter unless you've got a space that's really well preheated air, really, because you have to run airflow through, right? So every time you're exchanging air, you're really throwing away BTUs. So you have to be prepared to like counter that, right? And not be pulling air that's too cold into a grow tent because man, you can fuck your plants up doing that, especially if you're getting cold feet. Like if you ever worked in a greenhouse before, that's a whole nother animal just because of cold feet.
Why is that?
I I got all my air getting sucked out of my room heat and humidity. So since I've done that, I haven't had to run a humidifier or dehumidifier in like
Yep.
I don't know, like years. So that price of right there, that savings of electric is huge. So I always tell people you should be kind of sit down and fucking smoke a joint, look at your room, think about what you can do to make it better to operate cheaper.
Yep.
I give the tip I'll give for that as far as like tent spacing goes is you can get damp rid buckets, okay, Man, your local, they're a little bit up more expensive these days, but they used to be $10 for like the gallon buckets, the bigger buckets. And one of those is good pretty much for like a 4x4 space. Some things will wick out any extra humidity in the air that
Yep.
gets too bad. So you could put one of them in each tent or 4x4 space, one for every 4x4 space. And then to avoid the dehumidifier, after that light goes off and the plants kick off that humidity, leave that door open. Make that make that part of your whatever your light schedule is. Say if it's a 12-12, let your light kick off at 11 and a half and let that space, that door be open for an extra half hour while the plants are kicking off that extra humidity. You know what I mean? That can dissipate out of the tent or get sucked up by the bucket before you close up that door. And now you've got a bunch of trapped humidity in that tent with your flower.
And
Yeah,
another,
just controlling the humidity by fucking not over watering. Or
yeah,
I'm all about de-leafing because I don't grow leaves. I want to grow buds.
oh,
So just de-leafing drops the humidity.
yeah, that humidity management and that transpiration management are paired together. That part about leaf space is huge, right? Like I just pruned back my mother plants again because they were starting to go through water. You know, at a 20-gallon pot, they're going through water 24 hours from solid water to drying out. So I prune them back and take down that canopy, and then now they'll go for 3 days again between waterings, right? So that's one way to manage. And the other thing, were you talking about opening that tent up at the end before you close up? Like I'll do a watering maybe 3 hours before the light cycle goes off, and then I'll leave the tent open and I'll put a big fan in there and I'll blow fresh air straight in to get all that extra humidity out of there. And then they still have an hour with lights on to absorb some of that moisture. And I still find overnight, like, yeah, you see the humidity climb up even with the tent up on full pull, pulling full 10 value on the fan. So, yeah.
Growing my life away so I traded subwoofers to get my first 10,000 watt light. Let's fuck it
Hell
off.
yeah.
Nice. Wish I'd done that.
Eagle, I brought that shit back to the old school days. I got me a ill system in my car right now. I'm actually got to transfer it to the new car.
Yeah, you got the fucking 15s in there and shit. You got a fucking boombox in the
I
back.
got some nice, yeah, I got some nice bass. And then I ordered some nice LEDs for the new car today. They'll be here tomorrow. Got to have the lights in there.
Lights, fucking man. LEDs and cars and motorcycles and shit are fucking crazy these days. I mean, especially up where I'm at, man. Golf cart. In fact, I throw golf carts up on that too because up
Yeah.
here, like, because it's a resortish town. Once you get up here, basically, the weekenders, once they've hit their party spot, then they're just on their golf cart for the weekend or side by side. I think that's another one that needs to go on the list. All of them, all the above, decked out with as much LEDs, LED wands, whatever they can pack out of them motherfuckers is definitely a real thing up here.
What do you have? Do you have a game plan for if power goes out? Because that's always something that no one plans for, but always happens.
Ugh,
Oh yeah.
I just can't. I don't have enough power. Like I'm working on a generator, but I don't have a generator right now. But that would be my only thing I could go to. I'm running like 1.5 kW the lighting here. Like I
I
can't
used to,
back that. Not cheap.
I used to
It's like
fucking sweat that shit out big time, but now I after many, many years of experiences of power outage, I don't fucking sweat that shit anymore. I don't fucking That's fucking the last house I had fucking 4 or 5,000 watt generators, fucking on deck ready to fucking take care of the grow. And as I fucking had to use them and fucking listen to them, I'm like, you know what? Fuck all this shit. So basically, my game plan now, if power goes out, is just make sure I got air moving. That's it. That's it. That's all I give a fuck about. As long as I got
Yeah.
air moving in there, the plants, the buds are shaking and shit, nothing getting stagnant, fucking, you know, nasty like that. They can sit in that fucking dark for as long as the power's out. And I don't give a fuck if it's days.
Yeah.
Literally.
all
It's
kind
Days it ain't gonna matter. If we've actually lost power for a week, and that sucked, and that's a difference. You know what I mean?
they'll
Not
pick
on that
right
I would.
back up. Just pick that, set that timing schedule right back up to where what it was when you know what I mean, power went back out, and just let it go. That shit's fine.
I think I showed you guys these before. These are good for tents for small growers, but it's got a little recharge port, so you can buy those battery packs. These things got magnets; they can stick to the poles, and they're bright as fuck. You know what I mean? It's probably making a weird thing, but they're at Walmart for $20. And these things last for a while. I got a nice little stack of them. And then if the power goes out for a while, I do have a generator that comes in from this purple line that goes into this power strip. And then I have this light right here. I got one of these in here, and then I got one in the bedroom to keep shit going.
Nice setup, by the way. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Even the plants and veg, man. I mean, that's like saying, you know, that clone that gets shipped to you and it's 3 to 5 days. Oh God, it's got a flower. It's like you ain't fucking worried about that, are you? No, you pull it out of the box and you throw it right in the fucking veg. And you don't give 2 shits, 3 shits. It's been fucking 5 days and 3 to 5 days in darkness. Some things are very resilient. They can handle both flowering and in veg. 3 to 5 days of darkness, if had be. As long as the air is moving, them plants will be fine. Yeah, I don't scramble around anymore and waste that power.
They also they just go to respiration until they get light again and go back to photosynthesis and start making energy again. Like it's like whatever. Okay.
I've seen house plants that have sat in the fucking darkness, and some of them suggest that put them in fucking darkness for the winter, and the fucking you pull them out in the spring, they fucking take right off. Boom, like never skipped a beat and shit.
You overwinter a fig, stick it in the dark and cool, and let it hang out, and bring it back out when you're ready to go again.
So
Speaking of spring has sprung over here. You can see like the tulip greenery coming out of the ground and certain like flowers already. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's warming up here fast too. Where are you at again, Miranda?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh, you're in Mass. Where in Mass?
I'm over by the Cape Cod Canal.
Okay, okay. I've been working with the Bionutrient Food Association out that way. Not quite out that far, but out in that way. So that's cool.
Are you in Mass too?
I'm in New York, actually, Eastern New York. Tivoli, near Kingston.
Near Queens at all?
No, about 90 miles north of New York City, closer to Albany, about 50 miles south of Albany.
I'm going to be going to Queens at the roll up in April 19th. That's going to be that's going to be cool too. It's weed and hip hop.
Oh, nice.
LOX will be there. Styles P, Jada Kiss, Chic Luch. They got Millie's from Mass and Funk Master Flex. There's a bunch of people there. My buddy's performing.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. Well, I'll have to see if I can fit it in. I'm actually starting up a whole new 8-acre farm this year, so I'm going to be busy.
It's called the Roll Up on Instagram.
Roll Up? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find that right now.
There's one in Massachusetts. There's one in New York.
Oh, okay.
Away from me. The Worcester, Massachusetts, April 13th. I'm going to that one too. That one's going to be cool. That one's Bone Thugs. And Little Easy E's going to be there doing his dad's shit. And there's a bunch of people there.
Cool. The Roll Up. The Roll Up PCTX?
Nope. I think it's called The Roll Up.
Is like a space or something? Or...
Nope.
Holy cow, man. I've been fucking drinking more water
I got it. I got it. The roll up show.
than the fucking coffee, man. Why does water go through you so much more than fucking say coffee and shit? When you can drink twice as much, you know what I mean? Same amounts.
Because coffee's diuretic.
Yeah, right. Dries.
Plus the water, not like shells. That's like flushing your plants out back when you had the old chem newts going, you know.
Oh man, I need a good flushing.
It's one of the best things you can do. Flush and then replenish your salts and your electrolytes, especially potassium. Man. We should be taking 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day.
You never know when you need a monkey mask. You just never know.
I'm just gonna bite my lip. Keep my dirty thoughts to myself.
No, none of that.
So have you guys picked out your guys' outdoor this year? Are you Carlton? Are you putting anything outdoors? Anything?
Yeah, I think I can't do a lot here because we're only allowed 6 plants, but I got a buddy who's got a spot that gets sun all day long, and I just showed him the grow lab today, and I was like, yeah, I gotta find a spot to stick. I might stick this one super silver haze because the thing's a monster already, and in like 4 months that thing's gonna be. I think I can get a 20-foot tree out of that easy this year.
That's why I'm laughing at you because you're like, yeah, just 6 plants. You know what I mean? When we all know we can make 6 plants work. I mean, we really, really, it sucks that we have to like put them outdoors and be without and can't do the perpetual, but we
Right.
could be up through 6 plants to make us last for a while, I think.
Yeah, so long term, I don't know if I'll release it anytime soon, or even if I'll release it on the TFSN channel because I'm making new channels. But at some point, I'll probably release a video on growing monster canna plants and how to do that. So, but it's just for fun. It's kind of like it's kind of this part of it is kind of a hobby for me. Like I'm really focused on the food thing, as you know, but I really do enjoy cannabis and interacting with it. And every time I come back and play with the plant, man, I'm like. I could almost just go all that direction again, but then I'd miss food.
Yeah, you know what's cool is like when it's balls deep into veg and you can kind of like just put a chair under the canopy with your buddies and just smoke under the plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How about you, Eags? Are you throwing some outdoor this year?
It may, if worst comes to worst, because of the flowering space, the limited flowering space. As you're talking about, like I'm these fucking things. Ever since I pulled them into this room and started giving them attention, it started like bang. These fuckers are gangbusters right now. I ain't gonna be holding back much longer. I'm actually, if things get that bad, they have them like portable greenhouses or fucking 4 pieces of fence. You know what I mean? Whatever, 8 by 8 by 8. You know what I mean? I've always thought it. Eric, let me tell you this. I've always this is my if I were to seriously go to grow outside to eliminate the dumb shit, this is what I would do. You guys ready for this?
I'm all ears, dude.
I would take dog kennel panels. And I would go 8 by 8 sections. I would put fence posts at least as 16 feet up in the air. You know what I mean? As my corners, and as that thing fucking grew, you could actually fucking let it grow up and use that
Yep.
cage as a scrog.
Yep.
And even at that 8 foot, because at most points in most states they have to have a ceiling. Should, supposed to, whatever. You could take an 8 by 8 panel, set it on top of the 8 by 8 by 8, have a ceiling on it, let that bitch grow up right through, just like a scrognon. Now you have 8 more feet. You could still stack 4 more panels around that, and again, top it with another panel if you had to. So now that plant's just up and it's got 4 solid you know what I mean? Solid corners, fence panels as your scrog net. It might be a bitch to harvest, but that bitch wouldn't be, it'd be perfectly safe from to being stolen. And it'd handle all your weather. You could have a door as one of them panels, you could walk right in that 8 feet, clean the bitch out if you had to.
And hey, check this out. After you clean it out, as soon as you're done with that, you bring your chickens in there, you throw them in there and let them chicken tractor that over the winter. And you pull them out in the spring, you drop your next plant in there for the next year. Now you got some fucking rocket soil. Now you got a plant that's double the size. You got to build a bigger fucking. You start building a barn around your plant.
But I think that would be a fucking, yeah.
That's
Man.
awesome. That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I think my greenhouse is only like 8 feet tall or some shit. So I always battle my plants to stay. I have to spread them out and keep them short, so when they go into flower, they don't stretch and push through the roof. You know what I mean? So this year I'm putting two. I only got a 10 by 20 greenhouse, so I'm gonna put 2 plants out there and just stretch them out into one big hedge in the middle.
Yeah, I always say I'd love to have a grow room with a 20-foot ceiling.
Why so tall though?
Just to not have to play with height so damn much. I mean, like I don't do it just with cannabis. Like the corn, I tried to do a corn experiment here. I think you might have seen some of the video clips or pics of it. It was like a regular field corn. I couldn't do that in a grow tent. I had to get a dwarf corn to even do an indoor experiment with corn. You know, it's like if I had a grow room that had a 20-foot ceiling, then it wouldn't matter how tall it got. I could keep raising lights and adding lights to the sides and do what I got to do tech wise to keep up with it. But
That's one of those things as I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm thinking of some of the pluses and minuses with that. And then it's some of the shit that we've already talked about, how we use our equipment for resilience purposes. Now, I could see that beautiful tall roof being very beneficial during your heating months. Fucking all that hot air is gonna go right up to the top of the fucking 20 feet, suck that fucker out with a gable vent or whatever, and it just everything under, that first 6 feet would be naturally cooler because all the hot air's got a place to go. Which the flip side of that, now we come into the winter months and now you're trying to keep all that heat down low. It seemed like it'd be like a fight during, just for the control of the environment. That height would be nice to have, yeah, monster plants, but it seemed like an environmental, like, you know what I mean, to keep that air moving all the time.
having dealt with greenhouses and that sort of stuff, and grow tents both, I completely agree with you. But I think that could be engineered out by engineering the right building with the right thermal mass set up, so you can maintain an even temperature and really control that environment better. And that just comes back to spending a lot of time on engineering and probably a lot of money to implement. But it would be interesting to fuck around with just to see what can you really do if you really lock it down. And then while you're at it in a space that big, you could actually, start creating horizontal soil profiles and actually testing those on a lab scale, but bigger scale. This is just where my mind goes when I get too stoned. Like I start imagining shit.
I had a buddy that owns a grow store over here, and he grew his plants up a little over the top of the fence, and the cops ended up coming. They fucking mendo doped him, cut all that. They didn't chip him, but they fucking chopped all his plants down and took him to court because his plants were too big. They claimed he was manufacturing. It's fucked up, right?
Come on, like you go and make a law so they can do it, and then you go screw them anyway. It just
There's no law against plant size unless one of your neighbors can see it. Or I guess it's worded over here as it can't be seen from the street unless like without the use of like binoculars or something. That's different.
You know how we fix this whole problem? We start getting people arrested for tomatoes and cucumbers and carrots and every kind of plant they could possibly grow, and then everyone will get sick of it real quick.
I also had a buddy that grew his plants over the top of a fence, and then wandering hands reach over the fence and take all those top fat colas, and those the rippers come by. So that's another thing people that take into consideration. The bigger the plant, the bigger, taller it is, the more people can see it.
You ever seen the movie Homegrown?
Go ahead.
You ever seen the movie Homegrown?
I can't say I have right now.
I haven't.
You got to see the movie. But rippers take everything, Harlan. That's the rule. They take your hardware, your software, your underwear, everything.
Yeah, this day and age where you can just grow weed and fucking, that's just what a bitch way out.
Yep. Yep.
I think Redman once said he'd take your fucking credit cards, your welfare cards, and your frequent flyer miles.
Man. Yeah, I hope more people are gonna grow some plants outdoors this year. Or grow, period. Why not, utilize that sun?
Yeah, man. I mean, like some of those videos that were shared there about cannabis quality and just how long it lasts when it's grown outdoor versus indoor, how the cannabinoids break down differently. Like that's an important distinction, and it's often overlooked in a very trivial argument over indoor outdoor.
Outdoor, the only reason I never really grew outdoors in the past was because I had too much of a steadier operation going that went year round. You know what I mean? The perpetual harvest. I had patient's medicine that was on the line all the time, need to keep the, steady supply. So I couldn't really risk a bad season on their medicine, my medicine, all that good shit. But because of the permanent grow indoors, I never really wanted to throw the flag outdoors.
You never
So I
strive.
want to fucking throw plants outside when I've got, you know what I mean? That's just come on in. Well, there might be more indoors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was for me. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd love to grow monster plants outdoors, but I have an indoor grow or operation that's year round that I didn't want to risk the security.
Yeah. There's a lot of factors to consider there. And you know what? Like, honestly, it was the heat and power thing that drove me to do outdoor initially. And then when I realized how much nicer outdoor could do in productivity, that's when I really hit the gold mark there. And what I found both in food and cannabis is like, yeah, every third year you get a killer year. You usually get one bad year in there and one half decent year in there on average. And so if you make a killer year, you can put away some shit for the next shit year that you get to cover yourself in between. You can make that 1 year outdoor bang. But yeah, you got to be able to hold and ride. And then you're counting on weed that's 2 years old at that point. And that part sucks. And then the risk,
That's definitely correct.
I think at that point, fucking you got, you know what I mean, 2-year-old decent bud. That should be right in the hash pile. No,
Growing outdoors is definitely seasonal because some years are worse for caterpillars or humidity. Uh, if you don't cage your plants, stake them and shit. Like I had plants survive the low 90 miles an hour wind without losing anything. But I think any more than that, it would have started ripping leaves off. But other people that didn't stake their cages, like I put cages on and then I staked the cages into the ground because those cages can fucking blow over too. And then you have your whole shit on bud right on the mud. You don't want bud mud.
I drive stakes right at the base of the plant, and I lash the base of the plant as it gets bigger to that, so it has a support the size of the root structure and the root ball. Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm gonna hop off here because my lights are starting to blow out one at a time. Nighty night. Keep your buttholes tight.
Nice chat with you, man.
Cheers, brother. Have a
Peace
good
and
one.
love, weed nerds. Peace and love. Out.
Well, shit, that was an awesome conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, Pizza Pirate in chat there. Anyone have any suggestions on mending clay sand into soil mix? There's a good one for you. That's right up your alley, I would think, Carlene.
Oh boy. Let's back up and ask why we're putting the clay in. What are we trying to achieve with it?
There you go. That's Pizza Pirate. Here, back. He filed that one right back in your court. Well, I would think what benefits of adding clay anyway?
Well,
Is
in
it
general,
more absorbent for nutrients? I mean, there's a lot of surface area when it comes to clay. Clay is like gold, man. Fucking, it spreads,
that's
right?
is actually clay is loaded with nutrients actually, but it's locked up in what's called clay colloids. And so if you can get the biology going in the soil, that biology will tend to release primarily acids, but a lot of other dynamic compounds. But we could just look at it as basically as like releasing acids that break that down and allow that nutrient to come out of that clay colloid. And so when that starts to happen on a mass scale in a clay soil, what you'll end up seeing is you'll see little crumb structures form in the soil, what's called aggregate. And if you get a really good clay soil that's really active, and this is just such a perfect timing for this because the new farm that I'm starting is all clay soil. And I went and took soil samples this week, and every scoop, every shovel scoop is clay soil fully aggregated with earthworms in it. So before I even do a soil test, I know I have active soil geology, active soil biology, and like so it's basically all that nutrients available. So in the top 6-inch acre of most clay soils, there's like some ridiculous amount of potassium, calcium, and phosphorus. It's like 40,000 pounds of potassium, 80,000 pounds of phosphorus, and like 20 or 40,000 pounds of calcium, somewhere in that range. That's in the top 6-inch acre of that soil. And that basically means that clay soils, clay-based soils, and clays have a nearly unlimited supply of nutrients for plants, provided that we know how to use those soils and unlock those nutrients. And again, it goes back to that microbiome. You're not just germinating a seed, you're germinating a seed and a microbial community that supports that seed, and that seed supports them.
10:55. We are getting close to the time to wrap it up there. Man,
So that's
I'm
my
fucking picking up some good races for the next few months. I actually found I might, you know, I've always historically done a 24-hour episode on 420.
yeah, I know. I was thinking about that today actually.
I don't know how this may work into it, but I also found a race on 420.
That'd be cool.
So I'm kind of maybe and it's a good one too. So I've kind of thought about hopefully finding maybe a trusted co-host
I'm down.
for 420 so I can go down and race. But this is it's a different race where like this one has laps. And the last one was kind of cool because it had laps. So Angel, when I was running through, Angel and Brett could see me
Very
through the race. It wasn't just like, okay, there he goes, see you in an hour and a
yeah.
half. You
So
know what I mean?
can you
But
get them to like take some video and like be able to catch you run the race too?
that's what I'm thinking. So maybe if I can get Angel to like do, keep track of it. So like you guys can do your 420, whatever, and
Yeah.
then maybe highlight the takeoff, the laps,
That would be
I
fun.
think they're mile laps, so it's a 10-mile race, or at least that's what I'll be going for. So it should be like 10 times around before the finish. You know
So,
what I mean?
so
So
along those lines, not to sidetrack from the main context of the conversation, but what are you turning for miles right now? How many minute miles?
last night I ran one of my better. So I got this race coming up the 17th, and it's two shorter races. So last night I'm running in distance. I'm running 12 miles now, and that when the endurance running like that, I'm trying to run 9 to 10 minute miles, kind of lax the daisy, but just doing the distance.
Yep.
Treadmill work. I'm doing a little bit faster. We usually on between 8 and 9. Last night I ran probably my fastest time yet. I ran 5.57 miles at an 8.20 pace. And so that's and then on to complicate things a little bit different. I tend to like when the pressure's on, so like I train around like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Whatever I'm training at, I tend to race at almost like a minute or 45 seconds better than
Honor.
when I'm training it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good.
So and last night was a solid 820. I ran the 8K officially the 8K what I'll be racing the longer race 17th. I ran this time was a 41:36 or 41:30 last night. The last time I raced in the cold, it was I raced 43:03. So I've already shaved like a minute and a half off of that last race time. I'm hoping because this is a flat track, no hills, no nothing, just balls to the wall, fucking run. There's going to be it's a big race. There's 1,000 racers in this one, and their times are. I mean, you're not even breaking the top 100 unless you're breaking 8 minutes. So, and I'm hoping to at least
Please take that.
8 minute hit the 8 minute mark. So I'm like, I want to. Last night I did my mileage and then did at 8:20, 8:20, 8:22, and then I finished off my last mile at 7:37. I ran my fastest mile at 7:37 for a mile. So
Awesome. You got like about a month and a half before that race or so, a little less, right? 6 weeks or so, maybe.
well, that's for the 10-mile race, yeah. But then again, the ultimates to go to the marathon in July. And
Oh,
there actually some money there. They're like at this next one, the 420 race, it's a 5K, it's a one mile, 5 mile, and 10 mile run. But they're throwing out a challenge to anybody that wants to run 26 laps within 3 hours. There's they say a nice large prize cash there to anybody that wants to do that. I'm not ready for that. That guy ain't me. I ain't ready for that this time. That guy definitely ain't me, but there's an incentive there.
but whatever race you're running, dude, let's tweak your nutrition. You can fucking amp your shit up a lot just tweaking your nutrition. You'd be surprised what you can do. You'd be fucking amazed, man.
I I'm with you on that. I mean, that's this year's revelations, man. Again, I can't emphasize or not emphasize Mr. Buddha Boy here in chat. You know, he has given me a lot of advice over the years. He's given me places to look for knowledge as far as running, but that has been one of the biggest lessons I've taken in. There's so many, proper running stride, technique. More serious this year, recovery.
Yep.
Last year, I fucking train, hurt all the time. And now I'm taking more time to like trying to take a day off after a large, heavy run,
Yep.
more better, eating better, which that's probably, I've done better before with my nutrition, snacking on natural sugars and shit like that. You wouldn't
Yeah.
believe the shit I actually run on. It's like fucking chicken strips and hot sauce.
Life is fast, man. It's hard to do that. But there are definitely some supplements and stuff that can help you with like recovery and like performance and all that, man. And then just a few food suggestions I'll make for you. Let's link up and we'll chat. Well, it'd be like 10 or 15 minutes. I can like put you some shit that'll give you some super advantages. So
Right, and I'm all open to hear them. That's another thing too. My supplement cabinet or tray is I have it. I take some supplements, too many probably, but I don't take them all at one. Right now, the biggest thing I'm probably taking is the Shilazit, and
yeah,
iron, potassium, magnesium, and usually something for the joints.
yeah.
It's good.
Glucosamines,
Yeah, yeah,
glucosamine MSM.
yeah.
Yeah, high dose on that.
Not too bad. I can tell you the exact dosage of what the last whatever I had, and that's sad because of whatever I had is usually like
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? If it's a good day or good, whatever, I'm aiming a little bit higher on my supplements. Grab, you know what I mean? But if
same thing. I say
sometimes cut some corners just to keep it in the regimen, which I'm learning now as I kind of learn more and more about supplements. Vitamin C, like that's a good example right there. Vitamin C is like, you can get that from so many different sources.
yeah, yeah, and to get stomach acid, you're doing yourself a disfavor. You really should get it from whole food sources, man. It makes all the difference. It changed my tooth and gum health dramatically when I figured that out. Yeah, big difference.
Another thing I've been noticing is as far as like recovery and that is I'll give a lot of credit to the nightly RSO hot chocolates, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice like pea size. I'm putting like a nice pea size every night in a cup of hot chocolate, and that milk, stirring it up and letting it go into the fats, and mixing the hot chocolate in there, and then fucking. It's like my every night before nighttime. And I think that's overall giving my body a lot of time and to rest or get into a deeper rest and just building up my immune system. And again, I can't the topicals. Oh man, I can't stress the topicals enough. If you're in pain or you whatever. Oh man,
Well, direct delivery makes sense, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, and trust me, I heard so much shit. I literally on a daily basis, just like, oh my god. The other night I was shit you that this is it. I thank goodness Angel's seen it too. I'm talking about spooky shit in this house before. I don't know if you've heard or whatever. We're sitting there, and I was sitting at the table, and I'm sitting in this chair, and it doesn't have wheels. We're sitting there just talking, and the next thing I know, that fucking chair shot out from underneath me, and I went straight down on my ass. I was just sitting up just like this. Next thing I know, fucking I said that felt just like it looked, and it felt like somebody just literally kicked that chair out from underneath me and slammed me to the floor. Right onto my ass, man. And I was
Those landings are hard.
oh yeah, my fucking tailbone was fucking. I thought it was gonna be black and blue the next day. Definitely had to fucking uh lather up. But that's so funny. I literally the knees, my feet,
I'm
my
right there.
ass, so much.
And the other
Topicals.
weeks ago, I went.
Directly bathed in it.
Dude, I got up the other morning. I was like 2, 3 weeks ago. I get up, put my pants on. I usually pull my like pant cuffs down over my boot because they got the lace grabbers. Just grabbing my shit. Go to make a cup of coffee. Put my feet together and turn to walk. Didn't realize that the hooks grabbed. Face first on the floor, hard man. Like just elbows out, boom. Like I'm 30 seconds out of bed and I'm face down on the ground hard. I'm just like, fuck, man, this is not the way to start a morning.
Oh man, I thought them little quick jars like that get harder and harder to
Oh,
fuck.
that knee's been sore. It's still a little sore once in a while. I'm like, oh man, that's taking a long time to heal up. That was a hard landing.
Oh, yeah, topicals. Telling you, if you got some.
Oh, I'm
I
running.
used to kind of question the effectiveness of topicals, because just like a lot of people, I think I was guilty of. Oh, I expect because you like some of these like super strong creams, like fucking icy hots and shit. You feel it right off the bat. Ow! It's burning. It's cold. It's got to be doing something. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like when you put them topicals on, you may not get that. Right off the bat. You know what I mean? You gotta let it absorb and not give up multiple. Get it in there, force it in there, and then it works a little bit better.
I
I was
think
guilty of not giving it the proper chance. But
I think if you're going to make a really good topical, the idea would be to use other plant essential oils that would help give you that sensation. Like you could add a little peppermint oil to get that burn, and that would also open up those capillaries and help them pull that medicine in faster. And there's probably other stuff you could add to that. In fact, you could even probably mix that on like a jojoba oil as a carrier, and then you'd be doing a bunch of other good stuff for skin and muscles and all that. So, but yeah, I mean, like that concept is right on point. Like let's just like a foliar feed for a human, right? Like we're going to target the area that needs help immediately and help it immediately.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
for sure. Yeah. Thank all the people that's helped out. That's why I put them people are. I've been putting them in the description there. All the topicals and all that good shit, man. This shit's it's helped out immensely. Getting old sucks. That's all I can say to that, man. But
Yeah, yeah,
help.
I'm with you, dude. Well, we'll get you on some supplements and stuff to help you recover. You'd be surprised. You'll feel 25 again instead of 45.
Oh, I do, man. And once I do my thing, man, you give me a minute, man. I'm ready to run. I
Yeah.
go from fucking I go from rough to fucking ready to run in a bit. It's almost like miraculous because like you see me get up and I'm like, oh fuck, fuck. See me about 2 hours later and I'm like, yeah, you guys ready to run? You want to go run 12? Let's do it. And weed cannabis, I literally could not function without cannabis.
Same here. And mentally too, I don't think I could function without cannabis. The mornings I don't get some cannabis in my systems, I'm just like, I'm not right, man. I'm not functioning right. Things just aren't flowing.
Yeah, it's definitely been a partner in my life forever. I don't at this point, I don't know where I would be without
I don't
cannabis.
think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here. I think I'd long since have departed this planet, honestly.
Definitely has made the quality of life better. I mean, no matter what phase of life, goods, the bads, ups, downs, cannabis has always made that the moments better. All across the board, better.
Everything, and also cannabis is like been one of my best teachers, both in plant health and soil health and in spirituality too. Just interacting with those plants has changed my world in ways I still can't describe. I'll probably never be able to share in words what plants have done for my life. It started with cannabis. That was the original passion.
Agree. I agree. More plants, the better in your existence. I mean, house plants, weed plants,
More
now
life, more
different
life.
joys.
Always more
Different.
life. Yeah.
It's like mindful, the whole mindfulness or plant therapy, plant healing there is when you're like walking. That's how, that works. I mean, you basically walk through the forest and your mindfulness of the plants around you, and you find or make a deal with that one that calls out to you that, and that's the way it works too, man. Your vibration will call out to the proper herbal or homeopathic medicine there. And
Absolutely.
it's pretty wild. They say if you get like fucked up in the woods, poisoned or whatever, that cure is almost always like 5 feet away from
Yeah.
whatever poisoned you.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is like, and that's true if you study like plant taxonomy and like native plant species. Like you can walk in and go, okay, this plant's here. Like poison ivy is a good one. If poison ivy's there, jewelweed's probably close by. Jewelweed is the counter for poison ivy. It's always there in the environment. And like one of the old guys I used to listen to used to say the solution is the environment. So I always try to go back to that when I have a problem I can't solve. Like, wait a minute, if the solution's in the environment, am I just missing it? Usually it's there if you look.
Yeah, we tend to overcomplicate shit, that's for sure. Well, I do appreciate the conversation. It has been a good one tonight, but man, I gotta shake this joint off, go run 12 miles.
We'll have to run. I gotta get some food and crash out and get up for work. And
That's my bad, man. It was a perfectly nice day today too, man. And man, I don't know what it was, man. I just couldn't shake it off today. The
couldn't
fucking
do it. It's,
angst.
you got to do it when you can, when you're in it. Got to put your heart in it.
Yeah. Sometimes then with that being said, man, you don't know how many times where uh I haven't felt it.
Yeah, make yourself
Got
go.
out there, fucking I learned this trick from I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. He's a motivational speaker, uh the runner. Man, I get fucking high sometimes. But
Not
he
Tony
does
Robbins.
the running and the fucking
Oh, David Goggins.
Goggins, yes. Well,
Yeah,
what he says there in one of his speeches there is when he don't like to when he doesn't feel like it, he'll like trick himself. Like
yeah,
I'll just I ain't gonna go out there and do the 10. I'll just get out there, do a couple miles. And
yeah.
once you're out there, you're like,
Can do a
yeah.
couple.
And so
Do it.
many times I've been out there and fucking in the beginning like so sore, didn't want to do it, but once I got out there, half mile into it, I'm like, yeah, I'm so glad I went.
Dude, all you're describing is every work day for me. I gotta make myself go there. I don't want to go fucking scrape lead paint all day. Come on. Like you just gotta. All right, I'm gonna go do an hour. All right. Well, now I gotta get 7 more of them in. All right. Let's do 3 and let's knock out all 5 days in 4 and be done with this week. It's all perspective.
That you can do that if you work for yourself. It's harder to like if you work for somebody to, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
start talking about, knocking out 5 days work in a day, 2 days with quality, not just knocking it out, but you know what I mean? I was
No.
always for that, you know what I mean? You guys want to just work 10, 4 tens instead of fucking 8-hour days? Let's take 3 days off instead of, you know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
benefits of the 10-hour work day is so much more. You got the rhythm, everybody's in for that extra 2 hours. It's extra, you eliminate and tear down. Fucking, oh man.
Yeah, you can throw a 4.5 or 5 hour work period in with a break in between it, and it's not that bad. And you hammer it out, and you got your whole week's done in 4 days, and you got 3 days to go do whatever you want to do, or like catch up on shit. Or hey, you got Friday, you can actually go food shopping. Back when it used to be like that, you could go do business stuff on a business day and not be like, oh, it's 5 o'clock, I'm out of work now, I can't go mail out the bill or the whatever.
Either way, we gotta go. We gotta go, man.
Good chatting with you. We'll catch you. We're on tomorrow night, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. That's going to be fun as hell.
Have a good night, man. Have a good day. Good night and good day.
You too, man, and safe runs.
Thank you, brother.
Later, man.
With that being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in to this episode 830. What is it? 834.2. Holy shit, my memory. This the weeds this good, or I am getting forgetful in my old age. Probably a little bit of both. Either way, I appreciate you guys for hanging out for this episode. Mr. Joel from North Star Genetics will be here tomorrow night at 10 for another episode of fucking Talking Shit with Elo, which walks us up to 8:35. Holy fucking shit. We're slowly working our way there. Cheers, I grew some. Cheers to all you guys that continue to fucking hang out and support this thing. I appreciate you guys more than you ever know. Hopefully, life will ease up a little bit at some point. We get back to doing the shout outs list. I miss it as much as you guys do. 100%. But thank you guys. Most importantly, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts kindness do save lives. Until tomorrow night at 10.